just coming down the slope into Amberley, where we're going to stay at a campsite tonight, so we'll have at least one hot shower on our trip. This is where we stayed last night, Foxley Farm campsite, £17 a night. They only allow 8 people through with tents, so it's nice and quiet, other than the road which is just behind that hedge. They've got shepherd's huts as well here. Where are we going today then? This is day 5, is it?
Upper
Beeding, and it's about another 12 miler, so yeah, nice sunny day, no rain forecast, 1 water tap, no coffee. Day 5, just left the campsite, gone up a very steep hill, and surrounding us is this kind of 360 degree vista. Where we've come from is behind us, sort of forested with fields, and then ahead of us is quite open downland, so I think we're going to be restricted camping in the next few days. Really nice, no one here, just us and the sheep. Yeah, glider. This is an interesting meadow. So here it's probably grazed by sheep at certain times of the year. Lots of meadow ant hills which potentially could be hundreds of years old. And then in amongst the flowers you got small scabious. There's round-headed rampion here, which is this darker blue purpley flower, which is very unusual nowadays. Oxeye daisy, common century, dark green fritillaries flying around. And then if you compare it with these fields further down, that sort of darker green area is a field that's been intensified, probably had a rye grass seed mix on it, and there's no wildflowers in it, the other side of that cow parsley patch. So that's the difference between pasture that's been intensified for grazing, and then there's kind of much wilder habitat that would have been more stereotypical of pre the First World War. It's where all the wildlife is. Right, we stopped for lunch on day 5. We forgot to say what lunch normally consists of, because it's a bit of a routine every day. So we got hula hoops and a cereal bar. And the reason we chose hula hoops is we wanted packets of crisps, but we wanted packets of crisps that were going to be quite sturdy and weren't going to sort of disintegrate into crumbs and dust on the way. So hula hoops have done us proud, haven't they? Oh,
very nice treat.
Really, yeah, nice to look forward to. I even opened my bag of Haribo Tangtastics about an hour ago, and I'm trying to limit myself to 2 or 3 of those every now and again, otherwise I'm liable to wolf the whole bag down. I'm surprised they've lasted this long, really. I thought they'd disappear on day 1. So we're about to come down the hill now across the A24. We're more than halfway. The landscape's changing a bit now. It's very similar to the downs near Eastbourne, so quite wide open fields.
How far away was it? That's like 47?
Yeah, 47 miles. So yeah, we are over halfway now. We've made it up to Chanctonbury Ring. That's Chanctonbury Ring up ahead, that ring of trees on, I think, a Iron Age hill fort, something like that. And then you've got massive views out to the high weald. This is the view from Chanctonbury Ring on the leeward side of the hill fort. Hopefully where the wind's not quite so loud. Massive great views in the direction of where we're going, I think, sort of Firle way maybe in the distance there, and then all of this is the high weald. decided to break our rule about sitting on the grass. So we're lying down having a bit of a break. Still on the way to Truly Hill on day 5. There's a youth hostel at Truly Hill, but it's supposed to be fully booked up, so potentially we're rough camping again. Already opened down. The trouble is with that bit over there, it is all open. There's very little scrub even. So might try giving them a ring just to see if someone's camped. Go there. It's still a long way off in the distance. My hips hurting because we're quite exposed here by Chanctonbury Ring. There was a strong crosswind and blowing our rucksacks over to one side on our left side. So Meghan's got blister trouble. We need to film that later because that's a bit gory. Feeling alright then?
Yes. It's nice to lay down there.
Got some sort of tree in the form of haribots.
Do you sound it?
Yeah. Megan's found a baby goldfinch. It was on the floor. Oh, from this side it looks like it's got its eye closed, or it might be blind on one side. Maybe dehydrated and fallen out the nest. I had to put it on the side of the path, I think. It's one of the taps along the way. This one's quite an old one. Society of Sussex Downsmen, 1985. So yeah, the idea of that is obviously if you're coming along doing it on your horse can drink out of it, and then walkers can get water out the tap. And your canine buddy can have some as well. We're both feeling a bit knackered now. The youth hostel that we're trying to get to, Truly at the top of the hill, another couple of hours away, is packed with school groups, so they're not allowing other people in. So again, we've got to find somewhere along the way. There she goes. Her blister was so painful, she's taken one shoe off now and she's put a flip-flop on.
And we should only have, what, like 40 minutes left? So.
Don't know, we could have up to another hour's walking yet, but she could stub her toe, twist her ankle, not very sensible.
You'll be fine. I'll be fine.
We're walking up a very long hill. Oh, out of Upper Beeding. We've walked a lot further than we thought. We are now at Saddlecoombe Farm, which is a National Trust property. We're the only people camping in this field. It is now 9:15. Yeah, what we thought was a campsite was actually the visitor centre at Devil's Dyke. So we had to walk past that. YHA was closed because of school trip. So we're going to now stuff ourselves with cup of soup, minestrone cup of soup. Going to make up some veggie burgers into meatballs, and then have that mixed with pasta, and then probably a wrap with that. So we're going to fully load up. We walked past Devil's Dyke and there's going to be a really nice sunset in that direction, but we're going to miss it, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know how many miles we've done at the moment, but it's going to be something like 15 to 18 miles maybe. Way too many. Vegetarian meatball making. It's the morning of day 6. We've woken up, had a really good sleep. Managed to pack most of what's inside the tent away, and then we were just having breakfast, making some porridge, and then it started to rain, so we've had to kind of chuck everything in hurriedly again, and we're now waiting out the rain. We're on a National Trust campsite, and yeah, the cafe opened at 10, so we're going to have hot drinks and maybe a toastie or something before we leave. And yeah, if it's raining still, obviously that'd be a place to shelter out. So yeah, not had a wash or anything yet, or done the washing up, so we'll do that and then we'll go and pop to the cafe. It's just slightly annoying that everything is dry and now we're going to have to wait for this to stop in order to dry the fly sheet out. But that's camping. This is a donkey wheel that would have been used to extract water from a well. Donkey would have been inside of that wheel going round and round, apparently for 40 minutes to pull up enough water for the farmstead. That's the original bucket. But yeah, these are very rare. the start of day 6 now. We've just left Saddlescombe Farm campsite, which thoroughly recommend. £12 a night, no showers though, just for a field and water and toilets. Then in the distance, I don't know whether you can see it, it's Brighton sprawling out from the coast into the countryside. Yeah, we're now seeing more signs of human activity. So yeah, that's behind me, and then I don't know whether you can see it in the distance over that way. There's 2 telegraph masts on the escarpment miles and miles away. That's tomorrow. That'll be Firle Beacon, and then beyond that there's a further dark lump which I think is Bo Peep at Selmerston, which we'll get to tomorrow. Today we were supposed to be going from Upper Beeding to Ditchling Beacon, but in theory Ditchling Beacon's only probably an hour's walk from us now, so we did a lot more than we should have done yesterday. Meghann's still wearing flip-flops, shoes didn't work.
That's one of the bad boys.
That's one of Meghann's blisters, so yeah, we've tried to patch it. She patched up with plasters, bit of bandage in the shoe, and it's still rubbing. So look at her hairy little feet. This is the Jill windmill, the Jack and Jill pair of windmills on the top of the hill by, where are we? Meghann, where are we? Clacton Hill, I think near Poynings, is it? Yeah, this one's run by a trust, but it's only open on Sundays, so the other one's now a private residence, so it's behind bars. Supposed to be a car park here, horse box, cafe or something that runs the horse box, but that's not here either, we just missed that. So we've got our Marks and Spencer's pasty lunch with some fancy crisps to eat somewhere out the wind, hopefully. Found we had an emergency on the trail. We stopped at a service station for our M&S lunch, looking to bag some more Haribo Tangtastics. Unfortunately they didn't have anything, so all we could get was a Haribo Soda Twist Zings. So just need to try one to see if they're anything like Tangtastics. No, but they're not bad.
Are they sour?
They're a bit sour.
And then sweet?
Soft and sour it says. Fantastic, so much better. Here we've got a dew pond that's still got water in it. A naturally lined one with a mixture of kind of puddle, clay and chalk. Got sheep and cows having a drink. We've just passed one. Oh look! Oh, we just passed one and a cow's had a dump in it. This one's having a giant wee. Tasty. Here we have a blister. Oh! And then a vista. We're on top of Ditchling Beacon now, coming across eastwards towards the Plumpton Plain, and there in the distance, that white thing is the hammocks Stadium, the home of the mighty Seagulls. It's end of day 6 and we've decided to come down and stay at a campsite called Itford Farm. Really nice, £15 a night each. Brand new toilet block, lovely showers. They do croissants and barista coffee in the morning if you want that from 9 o'clock. Only slight problem is that the field's on a bit of a slope, so it's great for camper vans where you can stick your chocks under, but if you're on a tent you've got to find a flattish spot. So we're tucked behind the hedge here because there's rain forecast early tomorrow morning, all day tomorrow basically, so with strongish winds, so we're tucked behind the hedge to hopefully stay as dry as we can. Not desperate to get up early in the morning. Megan's gone for a shower. I look a bit bleary-eyed because I've just had mine. Great shower. So yeah, we're just going to eat something and chill out. It's 10 to 8, so I think this is the earliest we've arrived at a campsite so far. So we're not going to rush ourselves and chow down. Start of day 7. Is it day 7 today?
Yep.
Start of day 7. We're late starting. It's just gone midday. We're now leaving Itford Farm campsite by Falmer on the A27, heading east towards Itford Farm YHA. So today we should be doing from Ditchling Beacon to Itford Farm YHA, but we're ahead of ourselves yesterday. So we can either have a nice short day today or go on a bit further. But again, we're limited with camping east of Itford Farm because it's all exposed open downland, so there's not really any woodland there. Yeah, Megan said we got up at 9 because the forecast was for rain, and it did start to rain sort of bang on 9. So we quickly got everything out. I managed to pack it away really without getting anything too wet. And then I spent the last sort of 2.5 hours talking to a really nice old guy from Australia who stays over here and travels, based at Glastonbury, and does green woodworking. So we've given him the nudge to go up to the Centre for Alternative Technology up at Meghann in Wales, where I'm sure he'd love it up there, so he'd never been there before. What's really interesting is the people you meet along the trip, and yeah, the little discussions you have, so that was really good. So yeah, Megan has just told me that I shouldn't really be walking with 2 filled water bottles either side of me at the moment, so we know we're going to get water sometime this afternoon, so I might stop and empty a bit of it, water a tree somewhere, because it doesn't make sense to carry such a big pack
Or give it to me.
when I don't need to. Megan, let's turn the camera around. Megan's now wearing her shoes again with blister plasters. Are they feeling all right at the moment?
They're feeling great. Touch wood.
So we've got a bit of an uphill now onto the escarpment again. We're starting to lose the noise of the A27, thank God, and then we're back into normal quiet countryside again. Not sure whether the video is going to pick this up or not, but the Falmer Stadium Brighton Stadium is here, and then if you look it'll be west of that in the distance, somewhere in this direction there should be 3 foam masts on the hillside. That's truly Hill YHA, where we couldn't stop, and then to the left of that there should be a little clump of trees somewhere over here, I think, which is Chanctonbury Ring, and we walked past that a couple of days ago, but that looks miles and miles now in the distance. You can't quite see where we're heading now, but we're heading in the alfresco direction, which is beyond this hill. We're about a mile probably from the youth hostel that we might be staying at Itford Farm. You can hear skylarks singing on the right. Just walked through a dairy farm, and then on the left there was a corn bunting singing. Scratchy call, but that seems to have stopped. Again, fields of barley. Barley seems to be the popular crop at the moment. Far more fields of barley than there is wheat. What's really noticeable here is once you get east of Devil's Dyke, there's just far fewer birds, farmland birds, and I think that's because if you look here, the crops are planted so close to the edge of tracks, there's just no buffer strips. And before there were things like linnets, corn bunting, skylarks, yellowhammers, goldfinches. We're seeing them all the time alongside the tracks, and it's just no habitat, there's no structure for them to live in here. It's just a shame that there aren't incentives, or maybe there are, to encourage farmers to just put more buffer strips in. We're at the church at Southease. I think, if I'm right in saying, that this is a Saxon church because it's got a round tower, and certainly in these parts in Sussex that's quite an unusual thing. We're inside the church at South East. There's a nice stained glass window which looks like it's depicting fields, river and sky maybe. Nice small church. We're just a few hundred metres from the youth hostel at Itford Farm, and this is the River Ouse we're crossing now. So we crossed four rivers: the Meon to start with, then the Arun, then the Ada, and now this is the River Ouse. Oh, and I guess we cross the Cuckmere actually tomorrow, so that's what, 5 rivers. A bit tidal here, so it's a bit stinky and muddy. Windy. We're inside the youth hostel at Itford Farm, but it's booked out for an event, so we can't camp here, so we're playing cards. We decided to call Roberta. Thunderstorms and high winds forecast on the down, so it's probably not very sensible that we sleep in a tent on a high point with lightning forecast. So yeah, we've decided to get a lift back home, sleep at home tonight, come back, be dropped off tomorrow morning at the same place with all our gear again, and continue on. So it feels a bit like cheating, but well, we're basically sleeping under a roof tonight and not under a tent, but I think it's safest. So we're now playing cards, waiting for Roberta to pick us up.